Hello, and welcome to today's tutorial on registering employees in the EMMIS systems. Before we begin, let's try to understand who are the employees that have been referred here. So employees in the EMMIS portal usually involves the entire teaching and non-teaching faculty currently working in the current school where the data is being configured. Alongside, you may also ask who can register employees in the portal. So the employee registration process is usually taken up by the school operator of the concerned school, while the verification of registered data is initiated by the respective school admin. In this tutorial, we shall take you through the complete steps involved for the registration of school employees in the EMMIS portal. To begin, open your preferred browser. It can be Google Chrome or Mozilla Firefox. In this case, I will be choosing Mozilla Firefox, so you can open it. Once you open, in the top bar section, enter the URL of the EMMIS website. As you can see, emmis.sikkimedutech.in. Click on Search, and the landing page of EMMIS application will open up, wherein you will be able to find 4 menus in the top bar: Home, School, GIS, and Login button. Alongside, you will also find the badging of EMMIS, which stands for Education Management and Monitoring Information System, under which we have the Get Started button. We also have the About Us section and the page, and some data regarding the number of schools, employees, and students registered in the portal. In order to start with the configuration of employee registration, you have to log into the portal. In order to log in, you can either click on Login or the Get Started button. In this case, I will be clicking on Get Started. Once you click on it, a login page will open up, wherein you will have to enter the username, password, and CAPTCHA in order to sign in. Your username is basically the email with which you've registered into the EMMIS portal. Considering you're already registered into the EMMIS portal, if not, please refer to the previous tutorial that we have created on how to register your school and users in the EMMIS portal, or you can go through the Getting Started manual for registering your school and users. Now you can enter the registered email in the username section, so I'll be entering my username. After you enter your username, now you're required to enter the password. The password, while registration, is sent along with your verification mail to your mail address. From there, you will be able to find the default password for your mail account. However, if you've changed the password, you're required to enter the new password that you've created. But since in this case, the password has not been changed, so I'll be entering the default password and the CAPTCHA code. Enter the CAPTCHA code and make sure that you don't insert any spaces in between the letters. Once you enter the credentials in the login page, you can click on Login. Once you click on Sign In, you will be redirected to the school dashboard, where you'll find the EMMIS badging in the top right left corner, under which we have numerous menus and modules. We have the badging of the school, name of the school in the top, and the user description in the top right corner, along with the user that is currently logged on to the dashboard, the school operator. Currently, we are logged in as school operator. In the dashboard section, we will be able to find the information configuration percentage of each and every information module. So we have school information configured 100%, infrastructure 100%, session information 100%, which we had previously configured. If you are facing problems configuring these modules, you can refer to the previous tutorials on each and every information that we have created. In the previous tutorials, we have discussed the data configuration process for school information, infrastructure information, grants and sessions, session-related details, vocational details, and photo albums. In this tutorial, we will configure the registration of employees in the EMMIS portal for TESCO Sikkim. In order to begin with the employee registration process, click on Employee Management. Once you click on it, you'll be able to find an option or menu for List and Registration, so you can click on it. The page for employee registration will open up where there is currently no record since we have not added any employees in the portal, right? In order to add new employee, you can click on the green button that is placed in the top right corner that says Add New Employee. Click on it to open the registration page of the employee. Basically, the registration process has been divided into 4 steps, wherein you'll find basic details in the first step, qualification details in the second step, training details in the third step, and the service and UDISC details in the last step. This whole registration process has been configured in a modular manner, so it is easier for each and every faculty to register the data in the system. Let's start by configuring the basic details first. I'll be entering the first name, our demo data in this case. I'll be entering teacher, middle name, last name, class A. Teacher A, registration of teacher A, gender is male. We have date of birth, so we can choose the date of birth, father or husband name. We can select the religion, Hindu, Christian, Buddhist, so I'll be choosing Hindu for this tutorial. State social category, based on your state, social category can be listed, which in this case is OBC, and for the central, it would be general, so you can enter the details. If you're finding it difficult, what caste falls under state and what caste falls under central social category, you can click on this question mark to find the details. As you can see, ST, Limbu, Tamang, Bhutia, Lapcha, SC, Damai, Kami, Lohar, Sarki are listed in this section. Similarly, for central social category, you can enter the category as OBC, Divan, Gurung, Kirat, Rai, Bujal, Sunwar, etc. Then you are required to enter the GPS CPF or employee number in the section. Now the GPS CPF and employee number are basically designated to the government employees. However, if you belong to a private institute or private school, you can enter the school employee number. The school employee number is not a generic one, so it can be specific to your school only. So you can enter that. For example, I will be entering my school employee number as SC as TS001, where TS stands for TESCO. 001 is employee's code, so you can enter that likewise. And you have other number, PAN number, your email ID, so you have to enter your correct email ID since your email ID will be used to log into the upcoming portals. So please make sure you use your authentic and functional email ID. I'll be entering the email ID, mobile number. Now you need to select your nationality. I'll be choosing Indian. Now if you belong to another nationality, you can choose others. For example, if you belong to the US, you can choose American, so I'll be choosing Indian. In this, the school employee ID number, you can choose or provide your employee ID number as previously mentioned. Permanent address and present address, we have SSC COI number. If it is applicable, you can enter the details. APIC voter ID number, identification mark, right thumb, marital status, whether you are unmarried or married, caste category. Now you can find the list of categories out here. If your caste does not fall under any of the lists as mentioned, you can choose others that are mentioned at the end section of a list. We can choose the blood group as well. And now, we are required to enter the bank details of the concerned employees. So I'll be entering the bank name, branch name, account holder's name. So since we are doing it for teacher A, registering for teacher A, so we'll be entering the account holder's name as follows: IFSC code, and then we have the details in regards to vaccination. So number of COVID vaccine dose. So how many COVID vaccine dose you've reached in the previous section, so you can enter that. COVID vaccine name, you can enter the vaccine that you've received, and then the COVID vaccine dates, so you can enter the dates as well. When you had received your vaccination dose, you can also enter that. And in the last section, we have whether the concerned registering employees or faculties is physically disabled or not. In this case, if the concerned faculty is disabled, you can click on yes. If not, you can leave it as it is. Once we configure our basic details, we can click on save and continue. However, before you click on save and continue, you can verify the details once again. And if you've not uploaded a photo, you can also do that by clicking on upload photo and by choosing a photo from the desktop. Choose a photo, then click on done. As you can see, the photo has been uploaded in the profile, and now we can save and continue. You will be directed to the second step of employee registration, which is qualification details. In qualification details, you're required to enter the various qualification details of employees, which include, first of all, education qualification, professional qualification, and then we have special qualification. First of all, we will move on with education qualification. Entering the educational qualification, that is the respective employee's qualification details, as you can see on the screen: examination passed, class 10, passing in 2009. You can write CBSE or any other boards, stream subjects. Since test school does not have streams in class 10, so I can write standard, grade A, percentage, 90. Once you add these qualification details, you can click on add, and it appears on this tab. Now if you want to add more qualification details, such as class 12, you can do that by again configuring the details in the education qualification section: passing year, boards, stream, what you had taken during class 11, 12, so you can enter that stream. You can enter the grade and click on add. Likewise, you can add other educational qualification details in the section itself of your graduation, post-graduation. All can be configured this way as well. Now below education qualification, what we have is professional qualification details, wherein you are required to add professional qualification such as B.Ed, M.Ed, and other variable, numerous qualification details. So we can add for the B.Ed institution, we can add Soreng, qualification year would be 15, and this way you can add these details. As you can see, it has appeared below professional qualification tab, and you can add other qualification details like M.Ed, diploma, or certification in basic teachers training, BLEd, and you can add other additional categories from the drop-down icon menu. For this tutorial, we should be configuring only one in the case of professional qualification, that is B.Ed. Likewise, we can proceed with professional qualification. In professional qualification, you can enter any of the specialization: diploma in computer application, diploma in childcare behavior, and any sort of special qualification. You can enter those details which are relevant in the field itself. So I will be writing DCA, that is Diploma in Computer Applications, passing year is 2017, institution AppTech, branch would be Tadong, and vacation, you can enter vacation as computer. Once you click on it, your special qualification details will be configured, so this way you can configure qualification details for any of your employees. You're doing it for teacher A. Likewise, you can do it for any other employee. Once you've configured the qualification section, Now it is time for us to click on the next step and move on to training details, which is the step 3 of the registration process. In the training details, we have to enter the details that has been taken up by the concerned teacher who has been registered, course that they have. We can write Samagra Siksha, institution, it can be any, it can be private, it can be government, training year, when the training was conducted, training days, whether the faculty has completed the training or not. You can click on yes if they have, or else no. In this case, the employee has completed the training, so we will be configuring it as yes, and the service type, whether the training was conducted during in-service or out-service, so you can choose that. I will be considering in-service. So once all these training details are configured, you can click on Add. So once you click on Add, it appears on this tab under the Training Details section. So you can further add as many training that has been taken up by the teacher by following the same procedure. In this tutorial, we will be moving on with just one training details, as you can see on the screen. And now, we will be moving on to the next step, that is service and UDISC details. So once I click on next step, we are directed to the last registration step, that is service and UDISC data. Now this is also one of the most important registration page, which will result in the record formation of the particular employees in the EMMIS database. For example, it can be used for retirement planning, manpower planning, and various other things. Alongside, only after configuring these modules, the teacher will be able to be displayed in the respective school list. So this is why the fourth step of employee registration is very much important. So we will configure the details one by one. First of all, we will be entering the service details form. So in the service details form, we shall be choosing appointment type. It can be regular, contract, part-time, ad hoc, MROF 4G, or any sort of appointment type. In this case, we will be choosing regular, whether the appointment is under SSC or not, whether the appointment is under Samagra Shiksha or not. So I'll be choosing yes. Whether the appointment is under vacation, if applicable, you can choose yes. If not, leave it as it is. We have the appointment date, when the teacher was appointed, so I'll be choosing the appointment date as 15th July 2015. Appointment order number, you can write the order number and the appointment order date, so we'll be choosing an order date. So we've chosen an order date as well, and you can also upload the appointment order letter. So I'll be uploading this image out here. So image has been uploaded, and we are also required to enter the special appointment if applicable. We have ex-servicemen and various other fields for special appointment. So if applicable, you can enter that. Merit list, serial number. So you can also enter the merit list serial number. And once we've configured the service detail form, now we are required to enter the initial service details. In the initial service details, we are required to enter the previous service details of the employees where they had worked. So in the initial service level, we will be choosing where the employees had previously worked, whether it was in the headquarters or in the education department, district, subdivision block, CRC, or whether it was in a school. I will be choosing school from this list. Place of posting. In the place of posting, I will be required to enter the place where the employee was posted. So in the initial place of posting, I will be entering the detail as Vedant Senior Secondary School, initial date of joining, when I joined there in the school, the initial place of posting, so I will be choosing that date and year. So that would be 14th February 2018. Initial pay grade, no pay grade. You can choose as fees if you're in the teaching faculty, and initial designation would be graduate teacher. Initial sub-designation, you can choose any of the fields that is applicable. So I'll be choosing GT Maths. Now in the current service level, this is one of the most important field, as a result of which the employees will be categorized into the school for which the employees are being registered for. So in this case, date of joining would be the current date of joining for the particular concerned school. So if the employees were posted, let's say, 12th Jan 2000 or 4th August 2020, you can enter that. We have current pay grade. What grade was the registered employee in? What grade was the registered employee in? So we would be choosing grade B. And current designation. So what is the current designation of the registered employee? So I'll be choosing graduate teacher as well. Current sub-designation, GT Maths. The date of regularization. When was the employee regularized? So that detail can be entered into the portal. I'll be choosing 2016. And regularization remarks. If applicable, you can write it. So this is how we configure initial service detail and current service detail. Under that, what we have is UDISC details form. These details are applicable to the format of UDISC, so we are required to enter this as well. Highest academic qualification of the teacher. It can be postgraduate, MPhil, PhD. I'll be choosing postgraduate. Whether the registered employee is Anganwadi staff or not. Since in this case it is not, I'll be leaving it as it is. Whether trained in using computer, yes or no. Since the employee had done the DCA, so I'll be choosing has been trained in computer. Similarly, whether trained in teaching CWSN, you can click on it if applicable or not. You can leave it as it is. Math studied up to which class was math studied, science studied up to, social science studied up to, English studied up to, language studied up to, training done, what sort of training is done. All these details should be entered by the data operator for the concerned teacher. Teacher type, whether head teacher, acting head teacher, teacher instructional, instructor positioned as per RTA, principal, lecturer. So all those sorts of details can be chosen. Class taught, which class is taught by the concerned teacher. You can choose that. So we are choosing secondary only. Appointment subject, so I'll be choosing mathematics. Main subject, I'll be choosing mathematics as well. Main subject 2, that could be business studies or accountancy. I'll be choosing accountancy. Once you configure all of these details for the service and UDISC format, and after analyzing all the details, you can click on Finish. Once you click on Finish, the employees will be registered in the portal. So if you were to go back to the dashboard, you'll get to find that in the employees details section, the teacher that we had registered appears in the unverified list. Number of unverified records in the mail, we have 1. If you click on this one, we'll get to find that it was for the teacher which we had previously registered. Only after the verification, the teacher will be moved or transferred to the verified list. So verification will be initiated by the school admin. Once verified, the teacher will be moved to the number of verified employee records. So this is how the employee registration takes place. If we go back to the list and registration, we get to find that we have teacher A, 7th July 1981. We have employee number, gender, status. Since it is not verified, it will show as pending verification. Now, if there is any edit updates required for the registered employee, you can do it by going to Edit option, so you'll get to find the details registered. If there is no edited addition, you can move back to the list and proceed with other registration of employees. So this is how you can register employees for a number of teachers, non-teaching faculties who are currently working in the school premises. Hoping this tutorial was helpful in registering employees in the portal. If you're not familiarized with the data entry process, you can check the previous tutorial on data entry process of various information modules and uploading photo albums, configuring vocational details, and so on. And moreover, with the coming tutorials, we shall discuss the registration part of students. So thank you so much for watching. See you in the next tutorial.